Hello, welcome to White Birch Tarot. This reading is for Monday, January 30th and Tuesday, January 31st, 2023. And I just realized I forgot my hot water bottle. It's freezing in here. It's the middle of the night, of course. And I felt moved to do a reading because I feel so much change in the air. In fact, if you will give me 1 second, I will be right back. I apologize for that. It's freezing in here. I had to get my hot water bottle. Okay, sorry about that. It's the middle of the night again. I'm not prepared, but I just felt called to do this. And these 3 quotes jumped out at me, which is interesting because when I look at the cards that I drew, and I haven't really thought about them yet, but they fit this, and they fit the mood I'm in. But this first quote is by Albert Einstein, and he said, "I must be willing to give up what I am in order to become what I will be." And this one, I don't know who wrote it. Someone said, "Forgiveness is giving up all hope of having had a different past." Okay. And then Carolyn Mace, and her last name is spelled M-Y-S-S, she said, "No one gets off a comfortable couch." So I'm feeling change in the air. And I decided to, I just grabbed the first deck that was on top. And it was the Brian and Wendy Frood, the Heart of the Fairy Oracle. Okay. So I drew 3 cards. Okay, here we go. Trying to get it together. This is what happens when I feel channeling. I'm not really very practical. But this is interesting. First I drew the Lady of the Forest. And she is the consort, or the, the partner of the kind of the masculine energy in fairy. She's like the feminine, and she is all about like dreaming. I want to read you a little bit from the book. Let me see. Yeah, she's the eternal feminine. I'm sorry, my voice was just fine. And then I decided to do a reading and it goes haywire. And I don't know why it does that unless I have performance anxiety, which is very possible because I'm very shy. Anyway, she's the eternal feminine, dreaming and feeling. Okay, so it says that in fairy, there's a bias toward the feminine because fairy is an intuitive realm, a place of dreaming, creativity, and imagination that we associate with the feminine. So it says, if you're graced by this card, you're being asked to look deeply at the feminine within yourself and the feminine aspects of any relationship you are in. How do you feel? This can be a relationship with a person, a place, an idea, whatever is manifesting itself in your life at this time. Connect with the emotion of what is occurring. Go back to the source of the relationship, the dream that began it, and think about what is happening right now. Because the Lord and Lady are big energies, they work on deep levels. When you change on a profound level, those changes can take a long time to become manifest in the world. You may not see or feel changes in your life immediately, but things will change. And that is exactly what I was feeling before I did this reading. I thought, I could just feel it. Change is in the air. Something is coming. And of course, a lot of the planets have changed signs. Mercury is about to come out of its shadow period finally and be in new territory. Tonight the moon is in, Taurus, which is interesting because Taurus is ruled by Venus, feminine energy. And Venus just went into Pisces. Let's see, is Pisces a feminine sign? Yeah. Is it not? What comes before Pisces? Yeah, it is. Yeah, sure it is. So anyway, this is dreaming. This is imagining, but this is like the source. This cold book off my lap. This is like the source of the absolute dreaming energy within you. I would call it Neptunian, except that it's feminine. But I think Neptune is a very feminine energy, even though they've associated the sign Pisces with Neptune, who is of course male. I have read the astrologer Liz Green say that she thinks Pisces should be ruled by Dionysus because he was kind of a very, what's the word? Oh, the word just went out of my head. It starts with an A. Androgynous. He was a very androgynous man. And he was related to the earth. And also he was related to, ecstatic states like Neptune is. So anyway, I forget if she said he should be ruling Pisces or if they should have named the planet Neptune Dionysus. But she said something like that. Okay, I'm digressing. I apologize. Anyway, this is really creative, deep, dreaming energy. And it's asking you how you feel. So whatever you're thinking about, whatever has been on your mind for the past month, let's say, whatever's like number one priority in your life right now, you need to really stop and think about how you feel about it at a gut level, your relationship with it, whatever it is, if it's anything, okay, your work, your creativity, a relationship, your home, anything. And then it's interesting, we get another feminine card, we get the Green Woman. And she is, she's very similar. I want to see, how do they put it in the book? Because she's a very similar, there's a green man in this deck and there's the Green Woman. She's obviously, I don't even need to look it up. She's the feminine energy within nature itself, which is very primordial, very basic. It's what's the adjective for growing? It's verdant. That's not quite what I meant. It's growing energy. Something is starting to sprout, and something is being nurtured in a physical and an emotional way inside you, and it's a new energy, and it's connected. When I say it's connected with nature, that means it can be inside you, but it's very basic. I'm not explaining this well. It's like an emotional level in you that's very nurturing and very connected to the earth. So I hope we all have that feeling of like when you go outside and you feel connected to everything on a very basic level. That's who she is. And these two cards to me go together like, I mean, the Forest and the Green Woman, hello. They're telling us that very primitive, not primitive, oh, I'm sorry, that very basic instinct in you, but the positive one, not like survival, but the one that appreciates beauty, the part of you that is connected, feels connected to everything and can imagine, go there, because that's where the power lies right now. It's a very feminine energy, which means that it's going to be more of a gut level feeling and even a heart level, more than the mind and more than actions. So go to the base of whatever it is you're dealing with and find out how you really feel about it. And I think things are going to change. Really, I do. Because then we get the Fixer. And if you'll notice, this person has good intentions, okay? He or she is trying to fix things. Unfortunately, as you can see from the hair, this is the kind of fixing where you want to be in control, and you can see the gargoyle with the silly tongue out of its mouth. Does that say, what does that say up there? Looks like B-U-E-B-C. I can't even read it. Blue bow? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay. This is when you have a situation that needs some attention and you try to whitewash over it. You're like, I'm just going to cover this up and then no one will see the crack. I'm just going to, someone's coming over, but instead of vacuuming, I'm just going to ruffle the, you know what I mean? You're trying to hide something. You're trying to fix something that cannot be fixed. And perhaps it needs to be fixed, but you can't just clean it up. It needs to be fixed on a very deep level, a very, very deep level. So don't try to cover it up. Just especially if you're trying to fix someone else, which never, by the way, works, as you've probably found out. If you're over, 20 or whatever. Took me a while to figure that one out, but no, you can't fix anybody. It's not going to work. So I feel like this reading is telling us to go within, as always, and really get in touch with that gut level part of yourself that can imagine and make things grow, and find out, what do you really want to do in this situation? And for heaven's sake, don't try to cover it up. You may have been covering it up in the past, or like sweeping it under the carpet. Maybe there's a talk you have to have with someone and you keep thinking, oh, well, I'll just overlook it this time. But then the next time they say something, no, just no more fixing. And then I grabbed my Moonology cards that are new. And I told you I don't like the way they did these. So I chose one that fits for tonight, because we have like a third quarter moon. We're approaching the full. And I can't pull a moon card at random and have it come out new moon when we don't have a new moon. That doesn't make sense to me. So I chose the third quarter moon, which we are in. And it says, adjustments are required. Yes, they are. They are required. And if you go within to the very base, gut level of your emotions and your heart, you'll know exactly what adjustments need to be made. But don't make shallow adjustments at this time. Okay, so enough preaching. Do I want to draw an oracle card or an archetype? Oh, I better stay away from the archetype cards, or we'll be going down the rabbit hole. I'm going to draw just... Okay, now why did 3 always come out? Okay, we get yin, which again is, quote, feminine. And I kind of don't like that word, because it suggests, female. And really what this is just receptive energy. It's being receptive rather than active. And that's exactly what these 2 cards are too. She's dreaming. She's not acting. She's dreaming. And she's allowing things to grow. So it's about allowing. It's about accepting. It's about receiving. And then I will take one more, which came out with it, to the sea. And this is interesting too, because this person doesn't have, I assume she's not reading a map. It doesn't look like... Well, she kind of has a weather vane, so she kind of knows which direction she's going. But honestly, she's kind of heading out to uncharted waters. And she's going with her gut, because the sea is ruled by Neptune. And I started talking about Neptune because Neptune rules our dreaming and our imagining. And even though this is an earth energy, and Neptune rules water and earth go together in astrology. And as I said, Venus is in a water sign right now. She's in Pisces, which is, ruled by Neptune, the ocean. And the moon is in Taurus, which is also ruled by Venus, which is an earth sign, the earthiest of the earth signs. So anyway, I hope some of this makes sense. It kind of does to me. And I think this card makes sense too. That's a beautiful card, isn't it? I like these cards. But again, I can't pull one that doesn't fit with what the moon's doing, because that doesn't make any sense. And actually this last card came out, so I won't discard it, even though it's not quite on the topic exactly. But maybe it is, building blocks, because this is a very beginning energy. As I said, it's something basic, and I do think we're talking about a new idea here, maybe something you've been mulling over, or maybe it's a new way to look at something, but it's definitely about getting to the root. I mean, this is all about trees and greenery. Get to the root of something, and then you will be able to make some progress, but you got to start at the root. Okay, that's what they said, so that's what we're going with. So have a good couple of days, and I will talk to you soon. Blessings. Thanks for listening.